You are listening to Voices of English, and this is me, Nidal Alhassan. I'm really excited about today's episode because it's a special one. My guest is actually my younger brother. He's a passionate photographer and a cinematographer with a creative eye that captures stories through light, motion, and emotion. Today, we will talk about what inspired him to pick up the camera, the difference between shooting photos and cinematic scenes, and some fun behind the scenes moments from his work. So let's dive right in and hear the story behind the lens. Hello, Mohammed, and how are you?
Yeah, good morning, Nidal. It's really good to be here. Thanks a lot for having me, guys. I'm really honored to be a guest on your show.
All right, let's start from the beginning. Every creator has that spark, that first moment when something clicks. So, what first got you interested in photography and cinematography? Was there a specific moment or person that inspired you?
Yeah, well, I have grown up in a family that was interested in technology in general. I have seen my dad's old cameras laying around in the house and touched printed pictures that was taken so many years ago since I was a child. I guess this made me realize that a picture holds more than colors. It is basically saving memories inside of it. You can feel that when you check old pictures, you somehow relive the moment and feel completely nostalgic. It goes the same for cinema photography. Seeing old videos of young kids who are now full grown adults with families and kids is remarkable. And I honestly some days feel that this amazing small box is a real time machine.
Now, let's move to what happens behind the lens. Every photographer sees the world differently, right? So my question is, when you are behind the camera, what do you look for first? The light, the emotion, or the story?
That's really a great question. I actually look for all of it. You see, taking a picture is somehow like cooking a meal. You put the ingredients in a systematic order and wish to everything to turn good. Using the camera is somehow the same. You check your source of light, your camera settings, and your subject. And the most important thing is your secret recipe. What is the story you're trying to tell, actually? This makes the difference between a good or a bad picture.
I like that. It really shows how much thought goes into each shot, right? Now, let's talk about something more personal, right? Every artist has that one project that just sticks to them. So, my question about that is, what's one photo or video project you've done that you will never forget? And why does it mean so much to you?
Okay, it was a documentary for a leading business company in Libya, okay? The responsibility was huge, and I had a deadline with less than 14 days. I had to shoot in more than 5 locations between 2 cities and cooperate with more than 3 teams for production, just to deliver this 8 minutes video, which is to be first published in a major food conference in France. The margin of mistakes was extremely narrow, and that kept me on my toes for long days until I handed over the project, and the result was great for me and for my client.
So, do you think that single project you just mentioned shaped the way you see your work and your career?
Honestly, I don't think so,
Mm.
because this project was one of the many projects I've done before. But what made this project so special at that I had to do it in less than 14 days.
Now, let's dig into the creative side a bit more. There's always something that makes a photo or a film stand out, right? So, in your opinion, what makes a photo or a film powerful? Is it the composition, the emotion, or the message behind it?
It's definitely the composition. Seeing things from other perspective or angles expresses different feelings. That's what makes a picture interesting, you know? You take Christopher Nolan for example. His scenes are remembered because the amount of emotions he delivers in some scenes are legendary, and people appreciate that.
Let's compare two worlds here, still photography versus cinematic storytelling. So, how different is the process between capturing a still photo and shooting a cinematic scene? Do you switch your mindset, or is it the same creative flow?
It's completely different, you see. Shooting a still is easy compared to a cinematic scene. It is the gear, the settings, all of it. Also, after pressing stop or pause in a video, it doesn't end here. You still have long hours in post production and editing, not like editing photos, which you can go through in a couple of hours.
Mhm. That's quite interesting, like speaking different visual languages, right? So, what do you think? Let's lighten things up a bit, right? Because every creative person has that one funny and unexpected moment on set. Everyone has that behind the scene disaster moment. And I'm sure you've got several, right? What's the funniest or most unexpected thing that's ever happened while filming or shooting?
One time I was shooting a video with my drone in a beach resort to film a contest between small boats. And my drone was hit by one of those boats and sank straight down to the sea. I was really frustrated, you know. I went looking for a diving gear to get it out, and I think it was February or something, and the water was super cold. I just kept looking for a couple of minutes until I realized that my chances are in diving for 10 meters is near impossible, and I gave up.
But wait a minute. Was that my drone?
No, I don't think you owned a drone before, right?
Anyways, let's move on to another question. If you could collaborate with any artist, brand, or a director in the world, who would it be and what kind of project would you want to create together?
I'm trying to be humble, but it's definitely Christopher Nolan. But seriously, I think I will feel really thrilled to work in making a movie with any of those major producers around the world. The experience of being in set alone would be priceless.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Voices of English. A huge thank you to Muhannad for joining me and sharing his creative journey behind the camera. It's always inspiring to see how passion, art, and storytelling come together through photography and film. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share it with your friends. A big shout out to Marwa Safar and Asma Azdarul. Until next time, this is Voices of English, where every story has a voice. Take care.